This is the final tutorial for the silhouette project. The last thing we need to do is to bring in a gritty texture, and there are 4 textures available to you in your MyConnect module resources, and those are these 4. So the first one looks like this, and then you have this one, and this one. And you can go online and find your own texture as well. I think I typed in something like gritty texture. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one. So I'm going to Command A to select it, Command C to copy, and bringing it into my project, I'm going to Command V to paste, and then I need to fit it in the space. So Command T, pulling from the corner, holding Shift and Option. Option will keep it centered. Shift will keep it from distorting. Although distorting something like this isn't that big of a problem. And I'm just going to get it so it's covering that white space. And then accept. Okay, and before I move on, I'm going to rename that layer to texture. And the texture is covering too much of my silhouettes, especially my profile. So what we want to do is we're going to add a layer mask to our texture layer, and we're going to be painting a gradient on the layer mask. So if you go to your gradient tool, and it might be underneath your paint bucket tool, and you want to make sure you are on default black and white, and you're basically just dragging a gradient, make sure you're on the layer mask, from one side to the next. And you can see what that does. And you can play around with this. So you can go diagonal from a corner, top to bottom, go diagonal again, and we'll go from the right side to the left. And I'm just paying attention until it looks kind of how I want it to. I kind of like that from that bottom right corner. That one looks nice also. Okay, so any of these will work. You can also try, if you look up on your tool options panel, we are on a linear gradient. You could try a radial gradient. And you can either go from the center out to the outside, which is going from dark to light, or you can go from the outside to the center. Okay, and just kind of see what you get with that. So totally up to you. Just play around with these and see what you come up with. All right, so I think I'll go back to the linear gradient, and I kind of liked it being pulled from this bottom right hand corner. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I think I will keep that. Now your extra credit is to make 3 different effects. So you would just make it one way, save it, and then change that gradient, save it again, change the gradient, save it again, and you turn in all 3 files. So it's a very easy extra credit opportunity if you're interested in doing that. Now, one other thing you may want to try is merging your 2 silhouettes. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I selected the dragonfly. I'm now going to hold Shift and select my profile, and then over here I will right click and merge the layers. So that looks a little bit different. I think it helps your profile stand out a little more. So let me Command Z so I can go back. So that's without being merged and with being merged. And I think because of the way she looks down here, she was kind of cut off anyway. I think for mine, it looks better that way because then she blends nicely into that gritty texture. So I will keep it just like this. If you do decide to merge these, you'll notice you have 1 layer over here now. So just rename that to silhouettes, because they will both now be on that same layer, and the blending mode will go back to normal. That's it. So go ahead and finish up and get that submitted.